Woo! It has been a hot minute since I've done a video. Been a good number of weeks. For reasons, I'm pretty ill. It's been a rough couple of weeks, / month I guess, since I've actually produced something. So I've been looking for something to make. The announcement trailer for Borderlands 3 has dropped, which I've not yet seen, so I'm gonna do a quick react to that, but it's more or less, I'm gonna be talking about my overall opinions on Borderlands 3. I was gonna do a video on the reveal trailer, the initial Borderlands 3 reveal trailer, but then I got really ill and I've had no energy and I've been in bed for the past couple of days. So no more talking, I just want to jump straight into it with this sort of react, and then we're just going to discuss all things Borderlands 3. Let's get into it. That's pretty good. Okay. I got some thoughts to say on this. First of all, that box art, I'm assuming that's the box art. They're mad if they don't do that. That is phenomenal. That is very, very good. Look at it. Oh, look at these. We've got some faces in the roses here as well. That's I'm a big fan of that artwork, just as itself. I'm sure that's gonna, for big Borderlands fans, that's gonna be a lot of Windows, desktop backgrounds and whatnot. Very good. The trailer overall, I'm not gonna lie, this isn't gonna be a pump-up video at all for Borderlands 3. I just don't see the excitement at all for this. The initial trailer, I should have loaded that up beforehand. Fuck it, we'll just keep going. The initial trailer, I just think it was so weak. And in terms of, I'm gonna sound really pretentious as I say this, I'm gonna go at this in terms from a video editor's perspective. This is a perfect example of how the wrong song can just kill your video, and I think that's exactly what they've done here. It's the entirely wrong song for the, let me just turn this down. It's the wrong song for the trailer. It doesn't scream excitement. If you look at most of the shots here, it's just B-roll of panning environments, and it's like this for the entire initial trailer. Now, I understand that's what most video game reveal trailers are meant to do. That's what they're meant to sort of invoke. They're meant to show off the environments, they're meant to show off the game. However, this is Borderlands 3. This looks exactly like Borderlands. This is what we were expecting. There's nothing new here, there's nothing exciting, and I think that's where the trailer falls down. And the song itself, it's got no, it feels like when I'm watching it, it feels like I should be excited, it should be that wow moment, but it's not at all. Do you remember the first trailer with, it was Cage the Elephant? They did the soundtrack for that, and it was brilliant. Even when the second game came out, a lot of excitement. This, it's one of those trailers where it feels like you should be excited, but you're just not. The relation to what's on screen, to what you're feeling, isn't matching up to what you're hearing. I know that makes sense to somebody out there. I'm gonna move on. But I can't comment on this new trailer without commenting on this initial trailer and just how weak it is. Just how weak it is. None of it is new. Everything is, it's exactly what we sort of expected to see, which is a good thing, I guess. But so, okay, right, perfect example here. This whole saxophone joke, it's so tone deaf. I don't know, I feel like this is me nitpicking more. Let's talk about the game, let's go back to the newer trailer that they brought out here. Jesus Christ. So my initial issues with this, like I just said, both of these trailers seem very Borderlands, nothing seems new. They've named all of their, so who have we got? We got Mose, let's just go through them all. We've got Mose, Fleek, whatever his fucking name is, Amara. That ability, let's quickly jump into that, as it's the only one that sort of stood out to me. Sort of, I assume, splash damage, area effect, sort of grand slam here. Sort of like a Hulk busting move, I would assume. That's the only one that's caught my attention. And right, so here, a drone. And that will shoot other enemies. This is my problem with Borderlands 2, and it's, Jack tells me to do an unpopular opinions video on games, and Borderlands 2 is one of those unpopular opinions where I just didn't enjoy it. I loved Borderlands 1. I loved it so much. I nearly got all of the achievements on 360 with the Game of the Year edition, and if you've ever gone for that, you know how much of a fucking grind that is, how many hours you have to put in. And I loved it. And the reason why I loved it so much is because Borderlands, the original, I feel like the original 4 Vault Hunters were the best ones. Their class, their abilities, they were the best. You didn't need anything added to that. So when we went to Borderlands 2, I think I played about 10 to 12 hours of Borderlands 2. I tried to go through it several times on my own. I actually prefer to play these games on my own, which I know that's not how they're meant to be played, but that was, for me, I gave myself the disservice and I enjoyed it, so whatever. But I couldn't do that with Borderlands 2, so I tried to play it with friends, and again, yeah, we got about 10 to 12 hours in, and then I just gave up. I was just like, this just isn't fun. I just didn't like it. I didn't like the characters who we played as. I didn't like the new Vault Hunters because their new abilities, honestly, I couldn't tell you what they are from memory. And the reason why I can't tell you from memory is because the original 4 Vault Hunters were the best. And I'm going to sort of shoot myself in the foot here, I imagine, by trying to remember what they were. But you had the soldier guy who had sort of shields and whatnot. He could drop like a turret, I think. You had the Siren who could go invisible and sort of warp, sort of like Wraith from Apex. And then you had the bird guy. I know his name begins with an M. It sounds like I didn't like Borderlands 1 at all because I can't remember it. But bird guy was what I called him. I loved him. I've only ever played as him. I've played through Borderlands 1, start to finish, several times. I always pick him because he has the best ability, which is Bloodwing. And that's just what this is, this drone. I have related back to this trailer. It's just the drone thing. And again, my point, what I'm trying to make here, is the character's abilities aren't standing out. What was Mose's? I sort of skimmed right over that. Let's go through Mose. She's got a rail gun, I guess. All right, right. We've got a quick glimpse. A robot. So I'm assuming some sort of Titanfall-esque mech will come along. Again, I'm going to eat my words. Not bad. Fleek, right, what's he got? He's got this little shotgun thing. What's his ability? An animal of some sort, so some sort of beast tamer class. Again, like, I'm trying to put them into a class of an established... I'm sick, forgive these words. He has an animal which is going to help him. Next one, please. Amara. Oh yeah, and then she's got the Hulk splash thing. And then, okay, so out of the 3, I am gonna be a bit more critical here. Zane's little drone thing, which we assume is gonna either heal you or shoot the enemies. You can probably upgrade it to do both. I'd say that's fairly weak. That is Bloodwing 3.0. So Amara's splash damage one, I imagine that's sort of like Bricks from the first one where he'd just run around. He was sort of invincible and he could punch everything. So again, it's sort of another, we've seen it before. Where's the dog guy? The dog guy, I assume, I mean, if he can ride it and shoot at the same time, like he can run around and sort of like jump over sort of varying heights of terrain and sort of shoot, or he can send it off on its own and it can rack up kills. That could be pretty cool, big fan of that. And then we've got the mech. The mech, that's pretty cool. So out of the 4, the mech and probably the dog, I'd say are pretty cool. The area of attack damage is fairly standard. Fairly standard. Let's keep going through this. So we've got the drone. Yeah, they're putting a lot of emphasis on these 2 twins here. And does anybody else think that the female one just looks like a... She looks like the doll from Rugrats. That's what it reminds me of. And these look like first drafts. And again, that's personal opinion, but they just look like first draft enemies to me. They don't look too... I don't know. I'm just not a fan. Not a fan. And then it plays on... Right, again, this is my other major gripe with this other trailer here. They put this in the reveal trailer as well. They advertise billions of guns again. I understand that's one of the unique things to Borderlands is how many different varying weapon types there are. It'd be silly for them not to put it in. But it's exactly what we had with Borderlands 1 and 2. Billions and billions of guns. I don't know, am I being too harsh? It's not new, that's all I'm saying. It's not new. It's expected, it's not new. Now, as we're going through here, you can... This is slightly interesting, even though I assume these are... Were they called minions in the first ones? Or they were like dumbasses or something bad. Have I just made that up? Who knows? These are quite cool. I assume these are just different variant types of like the grunt enemies, your standard. We're going to be killing a lot of these. What I do like about this though is this here, discovering new worlds. This is the one thing that Borderlands 3 has me interested in, and they're not showing it off enough. This is what... So with Borderlands 1, they were like guns, guns, guns. We're the game with billions and millions of guns. This is the game where it's like, yeah, you know that's what we do. Now we have loads of different worlds for you to explore. This is where they should be focusing their marketing. And that's what's sort of getting me off. See what I mean? We get a quick flash here. A quick flash. I'm just going to play that again. Here we go. So discover new worlds. Quick flashes, done. And it just seems so off. And I've stopped on this frame here. This is what's interesting about having different worlds is there's going to be different ecosystems, different enemy types, which I assume is why we have multiple variants of these small dudes here. So I'm assuming different enemy types for different worlds, which is cool. That is good. I really hope they don't just copy paste the same enemies with a different skin on different worlds. That's the one thing that has me really interested with Borderlands 3. This here is a pretty big deal. The fact that they've got some split screen co-op in here. Yes, 100%. It's a shame that it's sort of just flashed in here as Borderlands is a co-op experience. I wish they would push more emphasis on it being a co-op experience. I know it's sort of the expected, but if they push the whole we are doing split screen co-op, that would be quite nice. Just as we never see it, so I feel like that could be easy points that they're bagging here. And that's it. That's really all I have to say on Borderlands 3. So this is the announcement date. This is if we just skip ahead, I'm just gonna look at that art again. That is very good. I love that. I love that. Let's see if we can analyze this a bit. I've never analyzed in a video before in my life, but let's have a look. So we've got the faces on the roses. I quite enjoy that. We've got this little rocket up here, that little X move, that little rocket up there. That's actually leaving the logo, so that's obviously to emphasize you will be traveling to different worlds. Big fan of that. I like that we're leaving Pandora. That's as much analysis as I have. Move on. Okay, so the 13th of September, that's when we'll be getting this. I hope to see more. I really hope we see more. It'd be silly if there wasn't a pre-order thing there, because that's just where we are at the moment. But my initial impressions, have my impressions changed from this shorter trailer with the date, from the initial reveal trailer? Yes and no. Yes and no. So the biggest thing I took away from the first trailer was that we could travel to new worlds. I hoped we would see a bit more of that, but maybe we'll get that teased throughout the year. The main thing to take away from this trailer, I feel, is definitely who our Vault Hunters are. There was a frame there which I want to have a look on. So if we just look here, this is the team. What do we think? So we've got boring old drone guy here, Bloodwing 3.0 over here. So okay, I really don't like this design. I think that one was Moe's. Not a fan of the design, but she's got the mech ability. That's pretty cool. And then you've got the Beast Rider. I'm probably going to play as him. He's the one I'm sort of drawn to. Sort of like it. Is this these little spikes here? I assume that's actually the animal that he had. Sort of looks a bit similar. And then what was her ability? The Hulk busting thing. So okay, we've got our Vault Hunters revealed. We've had the abilities revealed to some degree, enough to speculate on anyway, and to get an idea and to get a feel of where this game is going. And that's fine. My initial impressions were I'm not interested in this, and now I'm slightly more on board because 2 out of the 4 characters do look fun. Their abilities have interested me. I'm sure all 4 play fine. I'm sure it's a fun game. The problem is here, I'm looking for something new with Borderlands 3. Like I said, Borderlands 1, fantastic, loved it. Borderlands 2, wasn't the biggest fan. And then I actually jumped into the pre-sequel for a very short time because I tried to weigh up to be like, did I not enjoy Borderlands 2 that much because I burnt out on Borderlands 1? Was that the issue? So I left it ages, and then I picked up the pre-sequel long after it released, and I think I played it for about 2 hours. And my issue there was I just didn't like the tone. I felt it was too try hard to be silly. And in my opinion, they've never recaptured what Borderlands 1 did. And that's why I am being very critical with Borderlands 3, because I want something new. I want them to sort of reinvent the wheel and recapture the magic. A very easy task. That's what I'm asking of you. So deliver on that. But what do you guys think? I'm going to stop talking now because I'm sure I sound gross in your ears and coming out of your speakers. But let me know what you think of Borderlands 3. Are you excited? Are you Are you on board with Jack that me thinking Borderlands 2 is a very unpopular opinion? Or are you like, no, yeah, it was very much the same? Ben, you're absolutely right. Please join my side. And then if so, are you seeing what I'm seeing? Is this just very much of the same, dressed up with very cool box art? I love that. That's so good. Right, guys, that's it. I'm gonna go because I'm sick. So yeah, let me know what your thoughts are down below. Thank you very much for watching and making it to the end of the video. I've forgotten most of my outro, so I'm just gonna ad-lib. There are other videos on the channel, some are like this, some are not. Feel free to check them out, and if you like what you see, then maybe hit subscribe or the odd thumb up. That always helps. Apparently, I don't know. I'm going. Bye.